If you like looking at dashboards, want to create dashboards for yourself or even people on your team, then this edition of Mothernode is a brand new suite of KPIs and dashboards that you can start with that will report on almost anything in every single module. So let's take a look at how this works. One thing I'll let you note is that in this particular demonstration, you will see charts that may be available for data that is not part of your subscription. That's perfectly fine. Everything is included for you so you can see what you do have the potential of reporting on should you decide that you want to upgrade at some point. All right, so in this particular case, what I'd like to do is I'm going to go over here into my dashboards, and now I'm going to click on Manage Dashboards. Now, for the first time when you come in here, this will be empty, but this is a demo account, so we've been setting up some charts already in here. And you can see that I have these listed as private. I can share these and make them public and have other people in my group have access to those as well. I have the ability to edit a chart, which I'll show you in a moment. I can duplicate a chart, so if I made a chart that is satisfying me for following information or tracking data on one part of my business and I want to replicate that in another part of my business, then I can go ahead and duplicate that and change some of the values and the variables. And of course, if I want to delete a chart, I can get rid of it here, okay? All right, the next thing I can also do is you might want to try this out. You can click on Add Dashboard. And so when we look at the dashboards, there's plenty of these pre-built dashboards that are in here. And if you want to see what one looks like, click on the preview and it'll take you to a new tab and it'll show you what the template for that dashboard is going to look like. And of course, in this case, there's two things to note. Some of the variables are generic and some of them are specific. So generics will populate information automatically, while variables that may have something to do with your market segments or your user base, your sales reps, etc., they'll be empty because they need to be populated and set accordingly, okay? This gives you an idea of what this particular chart will look like, and then you can make a determination as to whether or not you want to add it. If you want to add it, click it here, and then it will be added to the list, okay? And if you'd like to remove it later on, you can remove it from here. All right, so in this instance here, I'm just going to give you a quick overview. We're going to take a look at one of these. If you want to make a new dashboard, you can make a click on New Dashboard. It's going to bring you to a screen that is just blank. But in this instance here, what I'd like to do is just edit this and just show you some of the things that you can do. I'm going to open up one of these dashboards. This is the one that we just added. So you can see I have the ability to remove this criteria. If I want to get rid of this metric, I can do that. If I want to duplicate it, maybe make it for another person, etc., I can do that as well, or another quarter and so on. And if I'd like to edit some of the criteria here that's displaying this number, then I can click on the widget, change the color, change the title, go ahead and change the criteria, the date ranges, and so on, and then whatever this is going to be for. So for instance, I can say quotes, custom, I'm going to say the last 12 months and see what pulls up here and click save. And now I actually get a number that's populating here, okay? So you can continue to do that as many times as you want. Now, another thing that's really nice about this too is you can resize these graphics, tile them accordingly the way you want to have the information presented to you or your users and laid out. You can also move things around. So if you want to move things around, this applies to all the blocks. You can do the same thing over here with the different charts. You have charts that you can add, you have metrics you can add, and you have tables that you can add. So over here I'll go through the charts now, and you can see in this case you can choose the different kind of chart that you want to make this. So if I want to change this to a pie chart and I want to say this is going to be for the last 12 months, I'll click save. I'm not getting any data here. Let's try something else. Create a date, last 12 months, not next 12 months. So you can see you can forecast as well. So in this case over here, you can see I have some information. When I mouse over, it's giving me that information. If I don't like the pie chart approach, I can click this. I can say, let's do a bar chart, change the color scheme, and then now I can get something along the lines like this, and of course I can resize these and so on. So if you want to add new information, you can go over here to adding a widget. You can add a metric, which is one of these. You can add a chart, which is one of these, and you can also add a table. So if I want to add a table over here as an example, since I did that, it appears at the bottom of the chart right here. So again, I can move this around if I need to. And I'm going to go ahead and add the table, and I'm going to say default color will be green. And then I can say top customers. Let's do that. We want to know who our top customers are. We'll say modules. In this case, I'm going to pull from the invoices. And then what I'll do here is say all time, we'll leave the date, we'll put the amount. we're pulling up the top customers, and I'm just going to say save. And then now here you can see the list of the top customers that I have. So if you want to extend the list, you can go ahead and do that. So let me just make it easy over here. I'll just collapse this here, put this over here, and then I can just extend this list to see if I want to see the top 20, top 10, whatever that may be. Okay, so this is how I would pull that information here. Okay, so the final thing I'll share with you is that you may like this chart and want to have it as your default KPI for a specific module. So what you'll do in this case is save the dashboard. Okay, so save the changes that you've made. Then go over here to set KPI. And if you go to set KPI, maybe we want to put this in customers. And then I'll click save. And now when I go over here to my customer accounts, in my list I have KPIs. And when I click on this, it will now default to that chart that I just made. So every time I'm in the module that is related to the chart that I wanted to have associated with that, it calls it up right away. I can get back to all of this by going to manage dashboards, etc. The last thing I'll just share with you very quickly is that when you click on the manage dashboards, if you do have a television that you want to broadcast a dashboard onto, you can go ahead and do that, and you can see it. It's going to be in what we call TV mode. We'll do full screen, and you can see here that this is the dashboard that can be displayed on that big screen. All right, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about how Mothernode can work for your business, visit us at www.mothernode.com. Find more videos on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Mothernode, or call us at 800-928-6055. Thanks for watching.